Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Michaela. Today I wanted to share some of the things that I do not own as a minimalist mama. I have another video for my first child called like Baby Items You Don't Need / Newborn Regrets, and I still stand by that video. Everything I talked about in that video we still don't use, but I wanted to make an updated version sharing some more things on top of that we're still not using even second time around. And as always, you know, as a disclaimer, like you can watch however many of these videos that you want, and everybody is gonna have different opinions. Everybody's baby's different. Everyone finds that they need different things. So like when you watch videos like this, don't be like, oh, so and so said I don't need that, so I'm not gonna buy it. You know, I mean, if you truly feel like, oh, well, I like that, or oh, I would like to, you know, I would like to have that, by all means get it, right? A few of these we even used for our first child, but found that they were unnecessary, or we found ways to get around second time around. So it's just one of those things. Every child literally is different. But this video could help you if you're pregnant or a new mama looking to minimize or clear some space from all the clutter and like excess things that you already have. Yeah, so without further ado, here's some more common things I do not own as a minimalist mama. Number one is a baby bathtub. I used it for my first almost like every bath time, but second time around I just literally just did not feel a need. I remember I put it in the bathtub for his first bath, and I looked at it and I was just like, no, I can do without it. And just like for some reason, every time I went to go use it, I just never used it. I don't know why I used it every bath time with my first, and then second time around I'm just like, no, I don't need it. I have no idea like what the shift was, but I never used it. Second one is a baby monitor. Now we have baby monitors, but again, we don't use it. I never thought we needed a baby monitor, but my partner, he's like, no, we need a baby monitor. He doesn't even use it, right? He's like, we need it, and then like, he doesn't use it. I can see if you have like a big house or whatever, and like, you're laying your baby, you know, upstairs for a nap, and you're gonna be like downstairs maybe, but I mean, we live in such a tiny apartment, and like the bedroom is like just right there. It's like right across from ours, and it's like right beside the living room, and it's just, I mean, if they're crying, I mean, we could just hear it, you know, we don't need to monitor. You know, we just peep our head in really quick. We don't need to like go look at like this little like monitor thing, you know what I mean? We just live in such a tiny apartment. I was like, we don't need it. The reason why we still have it even after all this time is because so that way there's not like wires all over the place. He like went like up inside the roof and like installed it somehow like up there. So after like all that hard work getting it installed, it would just be too big a hassle to, you know, take it back apart. Jarred pureed baby food. I have never been a fan of like jarred pureed baby foods, or just like little baby food packages in general. I'm more a fan of just taking like a whole piece of fruit or whatever and just mashing it with a fork and giving it to them. Saves all that single-use plastic. Or not plastic, but yeah, some of them are plastic. Like even like those little tiny glass jars, it just seems like such a waste, right? I'd rather just take an avocado and mash it and spoon feed it, or take a banana and mash it, you know, something soft and mushy. Oatmeal's another like soft, easy, simple thing. And something sort of similar, a baby food processor. I've never been a fan of these. We have a blender, so I mean, we just use that. We don't need a separate blender just for baby food. Most people have a blender or food processor of some sort. When it comes to a baby food processor to like make your own homemade baby purees, I just use what you already have. You don't need a specific one designed just for babies. I've never been a fan of bibs. I'm more of a person where I will literally just strip my baby down, just take their clothes off and feed them, and then either wipe them down with a cloth or put them in the bathtub. After that, you know, give them a bath. But I literally, what made me change was I had this whole set of bibs, right, when my first baby was born, and you know, we used it. It got so stained after that, just that first time we ever used a bib, and we never, I mean, it was just ruined. We never got the stain out of it after that. So after that I was like, this is just, this is just another piece of cloth I have to wash. It just adds to the laundry. So I was like, that's when I started just, you know, stripping them down and then putting them in the bathtub after that. And yeah, we've done that for both kids. We have silicone bibs. They're so much easier to wash, but even then we hardly use them. And the only time I save them for is when we're traveling, because I'm not gonna be like, oh, like out and about and like at a restaurant and just taking my kids' clothes off, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I'm gonna keep their clothes on, but even when I'm like packing and stuff, I'll have it on like my packing list, and I'm just like, no, we could do without it. So it's like, we have 2 silicone bibs, but I still never use them. And you know, if we're going out to eat, I literally tend to just tuck a napkin, you know, like into their shirt. Burp cloths are another thing I used to really swear by. My first child, I used them a lot because she was formula fed, and so she was having a lot of spit ups, like really big spit ups. So I mean, it was just, you know, when I'd be burping her or whatever, I'd, you know, lay that cloth, you know, and burp her, or I had it, you know, on hand so I could just wipe her mouth really quick. Or I mean, she just had the biggest spit ups imaginable, so it was like, it was really handy having those burp cloths. And it got to the point where we couldn't just do like the burp cloths anymore. I mean, they had to be like, we had to get those like really big ones that basically covered like half my body because her spit ups were so bad. But yeah, so we used them first time around. Second time around, no. He's breastfed, so it's easily digestible, sits well in his stomach, so we've never dealt with spit ups for him, so burp cloths have never been needed. I mean, again, it's one of those things that all goes back to every kid is different and every kid is gonna need different things. A floor booster seat, I'm not trying to be like that person. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't understand it though. You know those like floor booster seats, it's like that little like seat, and then you put your baby in it, and that's it. Like, I don't understand, like, why do you need a contraption to sit on the floor? It doesn't make sense. Just put your baby on the floor. Am I missing? I mean, I'm trying to like, am I missing something here? Like, is there a reason for this? Like, you put your baby in a seat on the floor so your baby can sit on the floor, but why not just put your baby on the floor? Like, why do you need a special thing for him to sit on the floor? Like, it just doesn't make sense. A Dockatot. Now, I saw a really pretty one. It was like big and white and marble, and I was like, ooh, that's nice, right? The price wasn't very nice. Dockatots, everything that I have seen, are like $100+. And so I'm like, ooh, don't need it. And really, you don't need it. I mean, I guess it could be one of those like nice to have things, but I mean, when we co-sleep, we literally just stick the baby in with us. By the way, if you don't know what a Dockatot is, it's like one of those, like, here, let's do this. It's kind of like a platform in a way, but it's like flat kind of, but it's like puffed up around the edges, I guess. It's like it's like one of those things to like safely co-sleep with your baby with. So it's like you put your baby in it, so your baby, I guess, is like a little bit elevated than you are, and they have like this like cushion, so that way if you like start to roll over, it's like you roll into the Dockatot. I guess it's like one of those things that just keeps your baby safer when they're in bed with you, but personally we have never used one. Specialized wipes. Now, I do use standard like store-bought wipes, but I don't understand the specialized wipes, you know, like the boogie wipes to like wipe their nose with, the pacifier wipes, the high chair wipes. It's like, I don't understand those. It's the same thing, just in like different packaging, basically, like targeted for a different thing, acting as if it does something special, but it's like literally just the same thing. I mean, you could just take a standard wipe and wipe down the high chair, or, you know, just a regular wipe off the pacifier wisp or whatever. There's also like the specialized wipes, like the boogie wipes and whatever. They're fairly expensive. A changing table. We have a changing table because it is attached to Amelia's bed. We got it because we thought, oh, this is nice, right? But we only use that attachment to put things in. I don't change our babies in it. I've used it a few times with our first child just because it was there, because we had it, right? But you really don't need it. And second time around with our second child, I've never used it to change his diaper. I find I change my baby's diaper the most on the floor because they're running around, you know, doing things, and I'm just like, come here really quick, let's change your diaper. Just put them on the floor really quick. Or I will change them on the bed, but you don't need like this special like platform to change your baby at. It's just wherever's most convenient at the moment. And for us, it is never the baby changing table. And it's one of those things where it's like, we paid extra for that bed that had the changing table attachment, and I wish we didn't, because it's literally been such a waste, I feel like. I don't know what these are called, but those baby, it's like the sock monitor things. You like kind of like, let's see, wrap it around its foot, right? And it has some sort of monitor on it where it like tracks the baby's sleep cycle and like the sleep pattern they're in, and their heart rate, and I mean, it could probably check other things too. I think some of them check the baby's oxygen levels. I mean, it sounds convenient, like, oh, this will be so safe to have. It seems like a safe thing. They seem very unnecessary. I feel like all they do is just add so much unnecessary stress and anxiety for the parents. Like, I feel like I would always be on edge. Like, I feel like this wouldn't allow me to sleep at night. What are the chances of their oxygen dipping too low? What are the chances of their heart rate getting so out of whack, you know, it becomes problematic? I was talking to somebody like a few months ago that has one, and they said it doesn't add stress. They find it fascinating. And she said she's like stays up all night like watching the changes, and I'm like, but how do you sleep? I mean, you're not sleeping because you're watching, you know, what it's reading. And I was like, if you're staying up all night watching what your baby's heart rate and temperature and everything is reading, and when are you sleeping? And she's like, oh, I don't. And I'm just like, shopping cart covers. My sister gave me one with my first child. So we always had it in the back of like our van, like kind of like in the trunk of the car, just in case. I've never used it. I did use it a few times with Amelia, but with our second child, Lucius, I just not once ever used it. Gripe water and, you know, / other medications. We don't use medication with our children. And gripe water, I used gripe water so much with my first, and it did wonders. Second child, never used it. Another one of those things, all babies are different. He was very calm, very docile, almost never had an issue with anything. He never threw fits, never threw tantrums. So, I mean, he's just a very easy baby, and it's just something we never needed with him. So, don't have it. Next one is a nursing pillow. I have never had a nursing pillow. I just use a regular pillow. I don't need a specialized pillow. A breastfeeding cover. I'm one of those people, I just whip my boobs out, put my baby on, take him off when he's done. I don't cover myself. I mean, to be honest, nothing is really showing anyway. I mean, the baby's head is blocking most of my boob anyway. I'm not gonna put a cover over my baby during his feeding time just to make other people more comfortable. If it bothers them, they can look away. People act like they have no self-control and they feel like they need to tell mothers to cover up or go somewhere else. Why don't you go somewhere else? Like, you don't have to look even, right? So it's just, you could just walk on by minding your own business. But nope, everyone likes to make it their business when it's none of their business. Just like we're able to eat out in the open, our babies should be able to eat out in the open. Would we put something over our head to eat? No. So I'm not gonna do that to my child. And people want to make the argument, well, like, oh, it's not about that, it's about the pornography. It's about, I'm seeing a little bit of side boob, right? And you have to be honest, I mean, you have to really be looking to even see side boob. I'm one of those people that just whips my boob out and feed my baby. I don't go anywhere special, I don't do any special thing. just feed my child. The next one is like a bottle sanitizer slash sterilizer. Never had one, never used one. Don't find it's necessary. I either just hand wash them or run them through the dishwasher because the dishwasher, you know, has that natural sanitizing cycle in there. So yeah, and if you're using the same bottles for the same baby, you really don't need to sanitize it. I think this might have been included in one of my other videos, but I'm gonna throw it back here again. A bottle warmer. It's like a little like contraption where you stick your bottle in it, and it's like supposed to like warm up the bottle for you. But that's just, it's just too many appliances, like all these appliances. It's just ridiculous how much like baby gadgets are thrown at new mothers. Like, here, you need this, you need this, you need this, and it all sounds so cool, right? Like, oh yeah, but I mean, really, it's all unnecessary. How we would ever warm up our bottles is we get like a coffee mug and fill it with water, boil the water, and then stick the bottle in there, and it heats it up beautifully. You know, you don't want to stick the bottle in the microwave, don't do that. The next one is a baby playpen. We have never used a baby playpen for our second baby. We used it a handful of times for our first because my sister passed one down to us, but we hardly even used it then. We gave it back to her pretty quickly because all our baby would do is just scream and cry in there. They didn't like being confined, as nobody would. But yeah, all it really did was cause problems, take up too much space in the living room. Baby shoes. I guess people think they're cute, the little tiny little baby shoes, but I don't find them necessary because if your baby's not walking yet, they don't need shoes. They don't need shoes until they're walking. We have shoes now because our baby is almost a year and a half. He's 17 months. But for the first year, we never did the baby shoes. And if we were ever out and about and needed to bundle up his feet, just put socks on. That's what we did. But baby shoes, we never used them until they could actually walk. To be honest, there's so many baby things we do not use. I mean, the list could literally go on, but these are just some of the common things, common baby items that we just don't use. I will link some baby videos that I have down below, kind of like on this similar topic. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.